Because of COVID, one of the things that we have to deal with is that we are suffering from anxiety, depression. Again, we have low self-esteem. Many of us are just sitting around for hours and hours, watching TV, on Instagram, playing video games, just lounging around, right? It is unfortunate that some of the experts say, well, it's okay to just lounge around. No, in life, there has to be discipline. There has to be an itinerary, even on your days off. The whole thing about it's Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I don't work and I can just wake up at 12 and 2 in the afternoon and it's my day off and I'm catching up on hours that I lost. No, hours that you lost of sleep can never be caught up. That's one. Two, not waking up at your regular routine time is not healthy because the body and the mind gets confused. During COVID, that tends to lead to higher levels of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and obesity. Because, hey, I'm just gonna sit here and 1 hour of this show on one of those networks or apps becomes 2 hours. Oh, just 1 more hour. You know what? It's getting really exciting, and there's only 2 episodes left in this series. I'm just gonna watch them now and get them out of the way. And then when you finish that one, you start looking and browsing a little bit more, and you find another series that is 7, what is it called? 7 seasons, 110 episodes, let's say, and there you are. It's really, really unhealthy. What are we supposed to do during these times? One, if you have children, give them at least 12 hugs a day. Always ask, always be respectful. It is important to understand that a hug is just misunderstood. A hug is that when you go over there and you care for this person and you give them energy, you are conscious of the fact that they need this energy, because if they leave home to go to school during COVID, they are draining themselves out there. Some of them are scared, some of them are anxious about getting COVID. And as a result of that, they're losing so much energy. They are exhausted when they come home. Hugs. And one of the things that I learned, I have 25 years working with kids who some of them are now parents, and I'm sure eventually some of them will become grandparents. But one of the things that I've learned is that my kids, it doesn't matter, and again, they're not my biological kids, but these are kids I've taken care of over the years, and it has been a privilege. But my kids, it doesn't matter, right? I have this 6'4", 200 and something pounds, pure muscle, and I see him like once every couple of weeks, and we go eat at a restaurant, and he doesn't care who's watching. He'll give me a hug, or he'll ask for a hug. And he's 28 years of age. And that is healthy relationships, right? It's okay to teach your children to show their emotions. When children need to cry, it's okay to cry, right? It's perfectly fine. And then we talk about why they cry. The best explanation, as I've said it many times, was from a 7-year-old girl. Not even the best experts of mental health ever came up with this explanation. She says, when you have a dam full of water, they create these areas at the top so that water can escape, so that not a lot of pressure builds up. Otherwise, the dam can break and people downstream can have, die from the water. And so what she said was, the reason why your eyes are located where your eyes are located is when the pressure, the anxiety, and everything else is building up, you will not burst like a dam, but you will let that energy, that anger, that frustration out through your eyes by crying. A 7-year-old came up with that. And it's very true. But instead of seeing that, instead of seeing people talk with each other and discuss our feelings or thoughts and our ideas, we're seeing children at a higher rate smoking, drinking, smoking marijuana, again, engaging into unhealthy sexual behaviors, and so on and so forth. We're going to see after COVID a higher number of kids with depression, anxiety, and more, But we are also going to see in the next 5 years a higher number of kids with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, because these kids are smoking marijuana at 12, 13, 14, 15 because of COVID, because at home, mom and dad are not talking to them. Their caretakers are not talking with them. And as a result of that, what do we know? We know that children who smoke weed when they are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 have a higher propensity of developing schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. You're welcome to check out my book, lideresdelfuturo.org. And in my book, I provided that information. It's not something that I just make up. I've been talking about this for 25 years. People didn't listen. Finally, the research was done a few years ago, and it shows that this is the case. And so we need to take care of each other. We need to take care of those that surround us. It's about the next 7 generations. Indigenous peoples of the Americas and other places of the world, before making a major decision like, should we mess around with this river and change the direction it's going, or anything major like that, how many trees should we cut in this forest, always came with the next question, which was, how will this affect the next 7 generations after us? But we don't do that. Politicians are definitely not interested in that. The wealthy and the uber wealthy are not interested in that. It's up to us at home to take care of these children. If you are an educator, it is up to you to welcome children into your classroom and create lessons. Even if it's math or physics or chemistry, you can put bits and pieces about mental health in your lessons. And again, talk with them, engage them, provide resources. On the board, just remind them that there are many resources available for them to think about, right? The suicide prevention hotline is something that should always be available to everyone. So again, I've always said it, write it on a piece of paper, post it on the door of your fridge, text it to all of your children and your friends and everybody right now, 1-800-273-8255. And all you say, here is the suicide prevention hotline because I love you. I want you to have this number, not just for yourself, but maybe if your friend is having a difficult time. Because I love you. We are so scared to show affection in this country. It is horrible. We need to get past this idea that men are supposed to be strong and that they are never supposed to cry and they are never supposed to show any weakness. That's why they use drugs. That's why they are having multiple sexual partners. That's why they are, again, drinking and driving, reckless driving, joining gangs, and so on and so forth, because people don't approach them and say, hey, hijo, hija, right? My son, my grandson, I love you. I care about you. I've been doing this for 25 years. Some of the kids that I've taken care of, none of them biological, that I've been taking care of other people's kids, for 25 years, some of them ended up dead, some of them ended up in prison, and some of them have graduated from prestigious universities in the United States. And some of them, one of them that I love dearly, and he knows this, right? I told him, when I met you, you hated me, and today you invited me to your home, and you have a child of your own, right? And it didn't matter in his specific situation that he didn't end up going to college and university. Just the fact that he is a wonderful father and husband providing for his family. That is success, because everybody gave up on him at school. Except one teacher. Everybody else said he was going to be a dropout and that they would be surprised if 10 years later he wasn't in prison or dead. They said that to him. And at home, he didn't have the right support. And I'm just privileged to have been there. I'm not sure how much I contributed, but just being part of his life has been a privilege. We've had many ups and downs, but we're still here. And with that, I want to thank you all for taking the time and being with me today here on Líderes del Futuro on KBBF Bilingual Radio.